Okay, how do you determine whether a number is a solution of an inequality? So an inequality is a mathematical sentence that compares two quantities using one of these symbols. Okay, and note that we're not going to use an equal symbol here. Okay, so up here our first example, this is an inequality. 8 is less than 11. It's comparing these two quantities with one of these symbols. Okay. Here's another symbol that we haven't used much. Okay. So you would read this: A is less than or equal to 50. So the symbols we're going to use for inequalities are less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or not equal to. Okay. So determine whether the given value of the variable is a solution of the inequality. And this says m is greater than or equal to 2/3. So let's look at this question. What must be true of the value of m for it to be a solution of the given inequality? Okay, so m has to be greater than or equal to 2/3. So any number that is equal to 2/3 or greater than will be a solution. So let's look and see if 3/5 is greater than or equal to 2/3. Now this is hard to compare because they have different denominators, so let's find a common denominator. The least common denominator of 5 and 3 is 15, so 3/5 is equivalent to 9/15, and 2/3 is equivalent to 10/15. So now let's look at this equality with our common denominators. Okay, m was equal to 3/5, which is equivalent to 9/15, greater than or less than 10/15. Okay, 9/15 is not greater than or less than 10/15, so this value is not a solution. Okay, so what we're doing is taking an inequality, we're substituting a value and determining whether or not that value is a solution of the inequality. If it's a solution, it has to make the number sentence true. Let's look at a couple more examples. Okay, so we have y is less than 7.8. Okay, and for y, we're given the value y equals 8, so let's substitute it in and see if it makes this number sentence true. Okay, y is not less than 7.8, so it does not make this number sentence true, so this is not a solution. Okay, in this example here, we have c is greater than 1/4, and we're going to determine if that's correct when the value of c is 1/5. So we have 1/4 and 1/5. Now, it's hard to compare these. They have different denominators, so I could write common denominators. I could also think of 1/4 as 25% and 1/5 as 20%. Okay, now it's a little bit easier to compare them. So let's take a look. C is 1/5, and we're going to substitute 20%. And is that greater than 1/4, which is 25%? 20% is not greater than 25%, so this is not a solution. Okay. An inequality is a mathematical sentence that compares two expressions. Okay, let's look at one that is a solution. Let's say you had m is less than or equal to 7.8 and m is equal to 4. Okay, so we could substitute that in for m. 4 is less than or equal to 7.8. That is a true statement. So for this inequality, 4 is a solution. Okay? So a solution of an inequality is a value of a variable that makes the inequality true. Inequalities can have more than one solution. Okay, we'll look at one final one. Okay, for a is greater than 2/3, there's an infinite number of solutions. Any value greater than 2/3 that you substitute for A would be a solution of this inequality. Okay, so inequality, mathematical sentence that uses less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and not equal. And a solution is any value of a variable that makes the inequality true. And they can have one solution or they can have an infinite number of solutions.